Hello, this is a quick demo of FERN, the Fast Evaluation and Reporting Navigator by Lead North. The FERN Upgrade Validator tool is an application designed to accelerate and simplify the early phases of an upgrade project. It works by running a copy of your production and messages on an upgraded instance of HealthShare, Health Connect, or Iris for Health. FERN highlights differences and any errors encountered during this process, enabling users to identify problematic feeds or interfaces quickly. This targeted approach makes the upgrade process more efficient and less error-prone. So, to begin using FERN, you'll need to configure your application URL in the Iris Management tool. As you can see, this is our application URL, so we can access our UI. So to begin the process, we're going to go ahead and log in. Now that we've logged in, as you can see here on the FERN dashboard, you can get an immediate overview of the upgrade validation stages and their current status. Upgrade validation in FERN has two major phases, data gathering and validation. We'll start with the first phase, gathering data from a chosen namespace and production. So next you can see here, you have an option of running a single machine validation where the source and target are the same, or a source and target upgrade validation. In this case, we'll do a single machine validation. You're going to start by entering the namespace, and next you can initiate the next process of actually fetching all the service operation pairs associated with the production. These can be used to fine-tune your data gathering configuration. So let's continue on to step 2. As you can see here in step 2, now we can add additional configuration options for our data gathering. And in our case, we're going to be working with the gc.mainProduction production. We're going to be using Iris as our main authentication method. And another thing we're also going to be doing in this case is we're going to be setting a date range to define the scope of our HL7 messages we'll use in our validation. Another option we're going to be setting as well is we have an option to exclude specific service operation pairs or individual messages if needed. Now, to begin the data gathering process, we're going to click the Start Gathering Data button. Now, we can track the progress of our job on the All Data Gathering page. Now, you can actually track when the page will be updated itself, or you can trigger a refresh automatically through the Refresh button. As you can see here, our data gathering is complete. We can click the Review and Validate button to actually see what occurred during the run. And we can also set to begin our next phase, the Start Validation, we can see the temporary database directory. Now in this case, before moving on to the validation phase, it's important, since we are working on a source project, that we actually need to perform the upgrade on our source machine. So what I'm going to do now is complete the source phase of upgrading, and then we'll return back. Now that the upgrade is complete, since this is a source validation, we can begin the validation step. So we're going to first locate the last data gathering job, and we're going to click Review and Validate like before. Now at this time, as I stated before, we have our temporary database directory already set for us, or you can specify the one that you prefer. Then we're going to click the Start Validation button. Once this occurs, you can track its progress on the validations page. As you can see here, initially the validation may be in a pending state. Since we're working with a small data set, let's click Refresh to manually check the progress. As we can see now, the validation is completed quickly. You can quickly review a summary of what occurred. And we can see here that there are no missing files, but there is a new file as well as a difference that the system actually noticed. So what we can do now to have a deeper dive into the results, you should click the Review Report button. As you can see here on this page, this redirects us to the IRIS Management Portal where you can examine detailed differences and visual trace data. Now you can return to FERN, and at this time, once you've already reviewed your report, you can also view additional reports or review summaries. Now, if a validation run was completed and no differences were detected, your button is going to be disabled. As you can see here, no report generated. You can also return to the All Data Gather page, and you can actually run additional validations as needed. That completes the demo of the FERN Upgrade Validator tool.